Hi everybody, how's it going? Welcome to another episode of Diary of a Guitar Teacher. It's teaching day, hooray! I published one yesterday from last week, and one of the things that stood out to me was the audio quality was rubbish. So as I'm an audio engineer as a kind of hobby, or not a hobby, just through necessity really, I thought I would do my best to try and improve the audio quality both of my voice and of the guitar. So I'm now talking to you with a Line 6 wireless headset mic, which is plugged into my mixer desk that sits here beside me. Just take my AirPods out because I was using them to monitor. And my guitar is going into a relay, a Line 6 relay G70. What is it? Yeah, it's a G70. So hopefully I've got the balance just right, and the quality of the content will improve just through that. I figured out a way of getting all this audio into my iPhone, which I'm talking to you now with. I'm filming this on my iPhone 8 Plus in my little corner of the living room, which I call my studio. So I would quite like to give you a wee walk through just what I'm doing here. And now that I've got the Line 6 mic, I can actually use the camera on the iPhone other than the selfie camera. Normally when you do that, the microphone switches and it doesn't hear the voice from behind, so it's a shame you can't flip that in the video app settings. But anyway, I'll just give you a quick little tour. So this one obviously is just for the video viewers. You're going to get to see my messy living room behind the kimono, as it were. So here's my little rig. Mic switcher. I use that for switching mic between my loop pedal or direct to the board. Strymon Blue Sky, which is an awesome reverb pedal. Relay G70 Line 6, which I use for guitar. LR Baggs Venue DI, which I absolutely love. And a juicer. That's my distortion pedal or overdrive pedal that I use for solos on a couple of songs when I'm playing live. Comfortably Numb and Warren Zevon's Werewolves of London. So turning around, my desk, my PC, everything goes through this. This is my PreSonus Studio Live Series 3 16 channel mixer, which is a fantastic bit of kit. And I'm taking a feed from the headphone output into the iPhone that I'm using to film this now. And my guitar up there has got the Line 6 transmitter, and family photo of my son and my daughter. A picture of some fields in Fife that was taken by a friend of mine, and a picture of my mum and dad taken at our wedding, and a hygrometer to monitor humidity levels. So that's just a little demo of what goes on in my studio, my recording setup, which is pretty cool. Now I'm going to be preparing for today's lesson. While I would like to spend time figuring out some more cable routing to get a cable more permanently fixed up to go into the iPhone, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to try and prioritise and make sure that I'm ready for this afternoon. I'm teaching at 4 o'clock. I've had one pupil already call off, and the other pupils I've got are the ones, 3 of them didn't turn up last week. So that means I'm more or less already prepared because I did all that last week. So it's really just the last 2 pupils I have to prep for. So let me fire up OBS and do some screen recording and show you my Evernote app and how I take my notes. Right, that's us in OBS. So we'll take a look at the screen. For some reason OBS is not picking up the main note-taking window, but it's showing you how it works, which is what I wanted to show you. On the left here I've got my list of pupils. So Cameron down to Isabella, those are Monday's pupils, and Jack down to Andrew, those are Thursday's pupils. So Jack isn't coming, he's the guy who's already put in an apology. So Thomas, he's on grade 3, we looked at overrated, he hadn't practiced at all. So I've got a list of things here that we looked at, as you see, each date we have a lesson. I take notes and I like to refer back to these to see what we've been working on. So G minor pentatonic boxes, we spoke about octaves. He's playing Overrated from book 3, and we looked at lick 1 of the pentatonic soloing box. So that one's pretty straightforward. Not too concerned with that one. Innes, he's my grade 6 pupil. For Innes, I've got 2 notebooks. One of them is shared with Innes, so it's got PDFs and audio files shared with him there, which he can access. Then I've got my own notebook, which is not shared. So that's just notes from a previous lesson, which was our first, actually. On to Sean, he's grade 3, but he's actually quite accomplished. He didn't manage last week either, so I've got some prep done from the week before. George is looking at some grade 1 pieces, cranked. We talked about D/A chords and slash chords in general, and we looked at SCAD for life. And I showed him a simple F bar chord, which he said he didn't know, which I found a little strange. So this week we're going to look at Bone Crusher, so I'm going to have to take a run through that this afternoon. And then Andrew plays bass, which I don't, so he's really been showing me what he's doing, and I'm jamming some 12-bar blues for him to do some arpeggio and pentatonic stuff over the top of. He's doing great, he's very diligent, and I don't see any problems for him. So that's my afternoon. It's fewer pupils because 2 of them are 1 hour lessons instead of half an hour. On Mondays they're all half-hour lessons. So that's going to be me for the next couple of hours, just going through the material, practicing the stuff I'm going to be teaching. Grade 6, I'm working on a piece called Blue Espresso from the grade 6 rock school book, which I really need to play on electric guitar, so I'm going to be doing that. I have got it down, I just need to practice it because it's quite challenging for me. So that's me for this afternoon. What I'll do is, was it Monday? I recorded a short video clip after the lesson down at the youth cabin on my iPhone, and I haven't published that one yet, so I'll publish that today or tomorrow. And today I'm going to take down an external mic, a lavalier mic, and do the same thing today, which I will add on to the end of this. So for any audio podcast listeners, I'm sorry you didn't get to see the Evernote app. It's not that exciting really, it's just a note-taking application, and I did talk you through it as I went, so hopefully the audio version of this will work just as well. The other thing is that if you are living locally on the Isle of Arran and you're looking for guitar lessons, I really would love to have a chat with you. The other thing I've been doing today is I was listening to a podcast, which I can't check on my phone because I'm using my phone. It was This Week in Photo. Photography is my other sort of hobby. I really enjoy photography, and This Week in Photo is a podcast I've been listening to for a long time, but today's in particular was interesting because he had 2 guests. I can't remember their names for now, but I'll put them in the description. And they spoke about marketing, Facebook marketing, more than any other, but also website marketing and marketing in general for creatives. Naturally, the focus was on photography, excuse the pun. But equally what they were talking about would work for guitar, and this is something I need to consider for my business, because at the moment my strategy is pretty all over the place. I need to figure out a way to focus in order to use my advertising budget wisely. And yes, I do have an advertising budget. I have been using Facebook advertising. I'm a great advocate of Gary Vaynerchuk, who is a kind of mentor, entrepreneur, and he talks about how Facebook and Instagram and LinkedIn are great, really cost-effective advertising platforms for businesses. So I want to learn how to use those in order to grow my business and market myself. I think my skills are good. My guitar playing is good. My knowledge is good. My teaching is pretty good as well. I'm very patient. Perhaps a little slow. That's something I noticed in my last podcast that I just uploaded yesterday when I talked you through some of the 3 shapes exercises. I need to speed that up a little bit. That will come with more experience, I think. And I think I've got value to offer to people. So if people don't know I'm here, people don't know I'm teaching, they're not going to be able to book me, are they? So that's a thing I'll be working on over the next few days, and I'll share my journey with you on that as well. I would have dived into it this morning, but as I said earlier, trying to prioritise, make sure I do what needs to be done first, and then I can concentrate on other things later. So I'm off to prep now, and I'll talk to you after the lesson this afternoon. See you in a bit. Lesson's over. Just past 8 o'clock. Where are we? 20 past 8. Had 4 hours. First pupil didn't come, and then one of my pupils who comes for an hour didn't come. So I got a bit of practice time. And one of my Monday pupils was hanging about, so she came through for a wee bonus lesson, and it was actually pretty fun. We got through another bit of the tune that she's working on. The grade 6 pupil I had, he hadn't looked at any of the material that I sent him. So we were looking at some flat picking and some finger picking blues with syncopation. And I had prepared a whole bunch of stuff on the caged system. It turns out he already knew it, so I got him to show me what he knew, and I was like, well, that's cool. You've got that down. So we practiced some of the finger picking blues stuff, a particular tune that I learned from Acoustic Guitar magazine, which is really good for learning alternating thumb and syncopation. It took me quite a while to learn it when I first started doing it, and this pupil got it within 25 minutes. He was able to get through the tune, and it was quite remarkable to see. I was a lot older than he is when I learned that particular tune. So I'm just wondering if it's to do with I mean, obviously he's talented. I know his dad's a great musician and a good songwriter too. But I'm just wondering about the youthful thing, the pliability of the youthful brain and dexterity and all that. Interesting. Just a couple of thoughts I had. So that went okay, and then we did some blues jamming and got him to show me some stuff in Dadgad that he does. So it was a busy lesson. We went through a lot of different things. Then I had a grade 1 pupil. He was doing not too badly. We went through a new tune. We got it from beginning to the end. So I've asked him to practice it for next time. I love the pupils who come in who've practiced. It really does make a difference. The first pupil I had today said he had practiced, but you know, I've been working on one tune with this guy for 3 weeks anyway, all the time that I've been here, and we're not even halfway through the tune. So I decided that we were going to move on, do a different tune, because it was just taking too long on that one tune. And I mean, not all the tunes are to everyone's taste, so I figured it was, you know, he's probably not going to pick that one for his exam anyway. Yes, the techniques in that tune are useful to learn, but you know, you'll get it from another tune. So we moved on with him, and then my last pupil is playing bass, which I've never done, but I've been practicing a bit. There's an acoustic bass in here hanging on the wall. Well, actually it's not hanging on the wall, it's sitting on the floor behind me. So I went through some blues scales with him, some major scales and some blues scales, and they work, especially in E and A, they work the same as they do in the guitar, at least that's how I've found it. So you can play the root note on your E string to get your 1 chord, and then the root note on your A string to get your 4 chord, and then move up 2 frets to get your 5 chord. So worked out some of that stuff, and then we went through one of his grade pieces, which just happens to be the same tune from the guitar syllabus that I just worked on with the previous pupil, so that was good. I had the tune in my head and I went through it with the bass pupil with me on acoustic bass and was able to show him the timing and stuff, which was, it was good. I think it was useful for him. That's what counts. So that's me done. Not back until Monday, so Saturday, Sunday will be prep time for Monday's lessons. But hopefully Friday, Saturday will be spent working on some of my own stuff. Brian Sutton's school, I've got some feedback from him to work on. More scales, that's really helping me out. Figuring out the scales for the caged system and really getting a deep understanding of that. I've just written out some scale patterns that show the scale degrees of each particular scale shape pattern, so that I know exactly what notes I'm playing as well. It's great. I'm learning so much from this. It's incredible, this opportunity that I have been given to come down here and teach the high school kids. It's just, I'm so grateful. Steve, if you're watching this, I really appreciate it. Thank you, my friend. Thank you very much. Not just music I'm learning, it's also learning about myself, how to teach, how to relate to kids, patience, how to prepare, because obviously I hadn't asked my grade 6 pupil if he knew about the cage system, so I actually spent quite a bit of time prepping that. It wasn't just for him, I was going to show the next pupil that comes in after him as well, but that guy didn't show up again. But it's never a waste of time, learning how to teach means I've got to learn thoroughly myself, and that's definitely worthwhile. So I'm going to pack up now, put my stuff away and get home for some dinner. Cool. See you all in the next one. Bye.